Hey everybody, welcome into Sports Live in the 215. I'm your host, Connor Okuda, and today we're going to discuss the Eagles-Packers Wildcard game. It's hard to believe the playoffs are finally here, but here we go. Today's the big day. I'm really excited. Um, the the last time the Eagles and Packers played the playoffs, and they also played in Week 1, it was 2000. I believe it was 2010, and the Eagles unfortunately lost both matchups. They lost the playoff game 26-21 thanks to a Michael Vick interception. But hopefully, today has a much different outcome. I I think this game's going to be closer than a lot of people think. I know the Green Bay Packers are missing Christian Watson, and he was one of their top weapons throughout the year. He actually led the NFL with 21.4 yards per reception, so that's a huge loss for Green Bay's offense. But Green Bay's loss looks to be the Eagles game, the Eagles gain. I mean, um, I feel like Quinyon Mitchell will absolutely dominate his matchup today, even though in Week 1 he pretty much shut down Christian Watson. He was basically on house arrest. I think he had one catch for 5 yards. He was absolutely just a non-factor in that Week 1 game in Brazil. So hopefully Quinyon can do that to his matchup today, and if he does, I think the Eagles will have a huge a really good chance to win this football game today. Um, there there are still some questions about the rust from the potential rust from Jalen Hurts having 3 weeks off. And like I said on the Patterson Ave Sports Show, I don't if any of you guys watch that, you know I don't think rust is in that guy's vocabulary. I just think he prepares so heavily for each game that he'll be able to be like the fullest version of himself, or the best version of himself is what I'm trying to say. So I I don't think you really need to worry about rust. I think I think he'll be his best self. So that would be that would be very advantageous for the Eagles to have QB1 at 100%. At that's that's bad news for the Packers they um because I believe that Jalen Hurts is one of the best players in the NFL when he is fully healthy. So the Packers better watch out because uh, QB1's coming, and I don't think he's gonna take any prisoners. That's for sure. So it's gonna be a a fun matchup. I think the the matchup I'm most looking forward to is the Eagles rushing attack against the Packers middle of the pack run defense. I I feel like that would be the key the biggest advantage for the Eagles, since they were the number one rushing offense in the NFL, and you're going against a middle of the pack rush defense. So um, I I feel like Saquon could have a really big day. And I I mentioned on the Patterson Ave Sports Show that I also think Jalen Hurts could have a really big day. I think he could possibly have 300 total yards and four total touchdowns. I get yeah, it's gonna be a really fun game to watch, and I'm really excited to see how it all shakes out. One matchup to watch is AJ Brown, even though AJ Brown against the the Packers backup for Jair Alexander, whoever that may be. Even though AJ did come up last week with sort of a bum knee, but he told reporters, I believe on Wednesday, that he would be good to go. So that's tremendous news for the Birds. I I just I think he's gonna just absolutely feast um on a um Packers secondary that will struggle without their best player. I I don't see any scenario where AJ struggles in the slightest, and if he does, you'll hear it on the post game pod tomorrow. And I'll admit I was wrong, like I was with Bryce Huff. Oh God, that's still one of my worst takes. Oh my God, that'll live on my channel forever. Me saying that Bryce Huff would be the Eagles' best signing, but that's neither here nor there. Um, one interesting stat I read on the NBC Sports Philadelphia app is Devontae Smith is 61 yards away from breaking Harold Carmichael's postseason receiving yards record. Um, Harold had 465 yards um, in postseason games from 78 to 81, I believe. So hopefully Devontae's able to break that record today, and if not, and if the Eagles still win, he'll be able to break it next week. Although 65 yards for a receiver the caliber of Devontae shouldn't be too hard. I think he has he's shown the ability to break to take slant routes and kind of take them to the crib. So he's I can I can totally see him shattering, not just breaking that record, but shattering it today. I don't I don't see the Packers secondary, especially without their number one corner, being able to stop this Eagles passing attack, especially since they're probably going to be stacking the box to stop Saquon Barkley. So I think it'll be a big day for the passing game, and it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a lot of it's gonna be in a lot closer game than most people realize. I if I had to give a score prediction right now, it would be 28-21. Um, but we'll see how it all shakes out. Can 4:30 can't come soon enough. I'll tell you that. I think another key matchup for the Eagles their their run defense against Josh Jacobs and that vaunted Packers running game. Um, I I believe Zach Bond and Nakobe Dean are gonna have big days in stopping the running game. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter will also help out with that as well. So it should be a fun matchup to watch. The Eagles are are one of the best teams routinely in the NFL in terms of stopping the opposing running game. So it it should really be a fun matchup to watch. One of the best running offenses against one of the best rush defenses. So I for one can't wait to see how that would unfold. Um, what else? What else? What else? Oh, um, I I I think see I my X factor in this game would probably be either Zach Bond or C.J. Gardner Johnson. I I can just see Jordan Love, who targets his tight ends a lot. He'll he'll probably want to target his tight ends. So CJ and CJ and Zach will probably have a lot of chances to impact the game and make plays in um, more ways than just making tackles or forcing fumbles. I I think they'll have a shot at a couple interceptions, maybe a couple interceptions each. Um, but we'll we'll see how that shakes out. Um, oh yeah, I in his first taste of playoff football at the Link, I I think Saquon Barkley, even with a stacked box, could probably have a huge day. I I don't foresee that middle of the pack Packers run defense being able to consistently stop Saquon Barkley. They they may be able to in the first, second, and third quarter, but I don't see once the fourth quarter comes around. I definitely see or I don't see that happening once the fourth quarter comes around. I see Saquon breaking a few big runs and really kind of taking the game over. He, I feel like his first home playoff game, he's gonna just absolutely eventually dominate the game, and he'll be one of the one of the heroes of Philadelphia for the next week. That's for sure. If that does happen, which um, if you've watched the season, you know there's a high probability of that happening. So I I definitely see Saquon Barkley having a big game. I I could I could also see Dallas Goddard Dallas Goddard having a big game. Um, I can see him in what could be his final playoff game as an Eagle, or his final game as an Eagle. Period, not just playoff game. But he, I can see him absolutely showing out and balling out in front of the home fans. So that should be exciting to watch. I think he has the ability to just dominate the middle of the field if Jalen looks his way, which what why wouldn't he? He's one of his favorite targets. So I think Goddard could have a big game. Um, what else? What else? What else? Oh, the these two these two teams are, I believe, um, the Packers are third or they're second in time of possession this year, while the Eagles are first. So I believe another big key to this game would be who whichever offense is able to like hold on to the ball longer and kind of play that ball control style, which both teams both teams want to do and are very good at it. They're very good at controlling the clock, controlling the ball, and controlling both lines of scrimmages. So I can see um, or controlling the offensive line of scrimmage at least. I know the Packers have struggled uh, in run defense this year, but we'll we'll have to see how all that shakes out. And I'm I'm very, very excited to see how this game plays out. I'll be back a little a little later today with a quick hits episode, and then also I will have a rolling around the complex. So be on the lookout for that. I'm super excited. My first playoff edition of rolling around the complex. So that should be fun. Um, so do, um, I just want to thank everybody for listening to this, and as always, go Birds.